Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age 100% Guide.
Fog? Underground?
Not fog. Mist.
You can see the mist with your eyes?
Where it is thick enough, you may. The nether runs deep in this place.
So, is the mist dangerous?
Yes, but it is also an aid. A dense mist allows the working of powerful magics.
I'll keep that in mind. Can't count on Vaughn to keep track of these things. That's for sure.
Penelo just being the good head on our shoulders, and Balthier being the leading man, going to traipse our way through Raithwalls Tomb. As I say, you'll see those little dark patches. I am going to have to come back here and then fully fill out all these areas. But obviously, if you want to be more thorough than me, you can take your time and completely search and map out all these areas for the cartography trophy. But as I say, I have no problem in coming back when we're super over leveled and I can just run through everything and everyone in this space with no issue. But if we go deeper into this area, the Cloister of the Flame, we actually come across an Aeon, or at least they're called Espers in this game, but they're essentially the summons that we would know from Final Fantasy X as the Aeons. So right now I'm just like, listen, let's just throw some cures before we hop into this big battle. But as I say, our characters are beefy and strong enough that we should be able to survive this fairly okay. So this is not Ifrit. This is an Esper called Belias. But he's essentially Ifrit. So as I say, with Penelo, let's start putting up some shells, because he is going to be hitting with fire elementals. And as you can see, shell and protect, it ends up zooming up really quickly. Now granted, I do have 2x speed on, but I'm pretty sure I won't be at such a disadvantage that having it going faster isn't going to be that much of a pain, one would hope. Look, he's already starting fire, so long as Vaughn and our crew, and you can see here he's starting to cast Greater Barrier. So now if I can dispel that, and we were lucky that we found, oh, here's Firaja, a very powerful version of fire, even more powerful than Fire Raga. Although you wouldn't think it was that powerful, considering how little we took. But if we go to white magic now, we can actually use the spell that we got here to basically de-protect and de-shell him. So with that gone then, we can check, yeah, nothing there. He's immune to Libra, but that's okay. And as I say, since he's no high defenses now, we can take him down a lot quicker. Yes, he's starting to attack much more, but we have Penelo on Cure. And like that, Belias is taken out. And unlike, the other summons, we basically have to defeat these enemies and then we capture them and add them to our license board. And essentially a character then has to learn them off the license board in order to be able to summon them, which is quite interesting. So with that we have the Esper, Belias the Gigas, or the Gigas rather.
In vain glory they arose, shouting challenges at the gods, but prevail they did not. Their doom it was to walk the mist until time's end. A legend of the Nemo,
My family tells a story of the Dynast King and an Esper. The story goes that in his youth, the Dynast King defeated a mighty Gigas for which the gods took heed of him. Thereafter, it was ever bound to him in thraldom.
So, all this time it's been here guarding the Dynast King's treasure?
Not so. The Esper is the Dynast King's treasure.
That's your treasure?
In this Esper we now command rests a power whose worth is beyond any measure.
Is that so? Call me old-fashioned, but I was hoping for a treasure whose worth we could measure.
Oh, Balthier. Always, you know, the materialistic man. We're going to be having quite a few cutscenes this episode, so my commentary is going to be in and out. But as I say, we're after getting a summon. That's super exciting. And in theory, this summon was guarding or safeguarding the Dawn Shard. So in theory, this is looking very like the end of a dungeon to me. So we should collect the Dawn Shard now. And we'll be laughing.
What's wrong?
Your Majesty, we must go.
What? You will be avenged.
We've obtained the Dawn Shard. Awesome. So with that done, I guess we can just ski-daddle out of the tomb. And as I say, if you don't want to ever come back here, you can take the time to just leave through this door and go back the way you came and explore all of the tomb before heading back. But if you also just want the shortcut, you can ski-daddle back and just use the teleporter. But I would suggest ski-daddling out here for a quick moment, because on the lower levels there's actually some treasure chests and they can be quite useful to pick up. So over to the left hand side here, we can get an elixir, so like absolutely amazing. And then we also get the technique Shades of Black, which essentially cast a random level of black magic. Now this is typically on a class that doesn't normally get black magic spells. We also get a blood sword, which, and I go into the license board here now, and I'm literally like, why can't anyone I look for equip this blood sword? And I'm literally like, oh, that'll be cool. It has a big boost to attack power. And then I'm like, where is their license? Where is it? And then I realize, oh, Espers have been added to the license board. Neat. And then it also says, only one character can obtain the license for the Esper, that's fine. We've also unlocked a tab to give us a second license board. Characters who have earned the second license board can access an additional license board to further bolster their attacks or, you know, what equipment they can carry. So, as I say, Belias gives Bosch the Knight access to a potion lore. Maybe not that great, but there might be other Espers further along that will give him different benefits. So it's sometimes nearly better off not to look for any of the Espers until you've a good collection of them and then decide, okay, this person gets a great bonus if they have this Esper, this person gets a good bonus if they have this Esper. Like, it's not like having Yuna where you'll just give one person all of the Espers. Although if you wanted to, I would like say, you know, Ash could be a cool one to give all the Espers to, since like we know the Espers are somewhat linked to the royal family or something. But likewise, if there's a cool bridging of the license board that leads you to really cool upgrades, then I would say, oh, well, if this character gets a good bonus, then why not? But I'm literally there like, Bloodsword, is it a dagger? Where is Bloodsword? And I just genuinely cannot find it. So leave a comment. I'll probably just Google it myself anyway, but just leave a comment on if you know what license board gives off the Bloodsword, because you can find it there. I'm like, it's useful, I might as well get it. But as I say, for all of our other characters, what we actually end up doing is getting them their other license board if they're able to afford it. So Fran can. And likewise, we're going to try and do it in such a way where we actually have all 12 of the Zodiac signs or all 12 of the jobs on offer. We have 6 of the classes, we have 6 characters. So if each of them take a different Zodiac sign each, we can then make sure that we have all 12 on show and on offer, ready for good use. And then a part of me was like, oh, like, do I want to get the extra license board now? Do I get it later? And it's kind of back and forth on that. But I will just say, it is super useful to kind of go back out and just collect those treasure chests, particularly because you're so far in the back of the tomb. Like, at the very least, getting to those particular little squares in the left and the right hand side, like, it's not a massive dungeon either, in fairness, but I just was kind of like, I'm on 2 times speed, I just want to keep plowing on with the story, you know. Tough to Phoenix Down, we will never say no to Phoenix Down, they're super useful. And then, as I say, at that point I was like, oh, listen, we'll plow on with the story, let's get a few more cutscenes, let's get a bit more drama, because, you know, we are nothing if not filled with drama on this channel and in this particular series. But you might notice, and even me, I'm struggling to really get why Vaughn was able to see the kind of ghost of Ash's deceased husband. My only guess is that Vaughn had been holding the Dusk Shard for so long that he's like rubbed off the like mist energy. Maybe? If they gave an explanation, I can't remember it. So I'll be excited to find out if they give us an explanation further on in the future. But that's just my guess. But they very much make it obvious that like only Ashelia and Vaughn are able to see this phantom. And as I say, you're kind of warped back to the start. And if you go down to the lower areas, you're able to warp to the left and right to reconnect back. So it's not too hard to get about. But as I say, we have the Dawn Shard in hand. But unfortunately, we're about to hit up the orange crystal. And as you can see, it's like the mist are preventing teleportation, which almost always means we're about to enter a forced encounter, or like there's some sort of story beat trigger that we have to go further down in this area to unlock. We can't basically skip and bypass this. So unfortunately, we've gotten the Dawn Shard, but the Empire have followed us right here. And they're about to take up the Dawn Shard out of our hands. And there's no way we're going to be able to, you know, stop this. So, unfortunately, we're captured. I'm going to stay quiet for the rest of these cutscenes. But enjoy the really high-def graphics. Like, they're stunning, you know? But anyway, I'll talk to you after this cutscene.
Such a tremendous honor to again be graced with your presence, Majesty. You left us with such great dispatch upon our last encounter that I must confess I had begun to worry that we may have given your Majesty some cause for offense.
Such a heartfelt display of remorse. Now what is it you want?
I want you to give me the Nethicite.
The Nethicite?
That is a base imitation. We seek Raithwalls' legacy, the ancient relics of the Dynast King. They affected Nethicite. Did you not tell them, Captain Azalus?
Majesty, he speaks of the Dawn Shard. That is the Nethicite.
Are you mad, Vossler? If we are to save Dalmasca, we must accept the truth. I will fight this profitless battle no more.
Captain Azalus has struck a wise bargain. In return for the Dawn Shard, the Empire will permit Lady Ash to reclaim her throne, and the Kingdom of Dalmasca will be restored. Think on it. An entire kingdom for a stone. You must admit, 'tis more than a fair exchange.
And when all is said and done, your master will have another pet.
Lady Ash, let us take him for the people of Dalmasca. Your Majesty wallows in indecision on peril of their heads. And his shall be the first to fall.
Well, at least your sword is to the point.
To think the relics of the Dynast King were Deifacted Nethicite, Dr. Sid will be beside himself.
What did you say?
Captain Azalus, take them to Shiva. They should have leave to return to Rabanastre soon. I want you to assess its power.
Did our orders not specify that we return the stone for testing?
I will not chance returning with a stone that is yet unproven.
When we return to Dalmasca, we can announce that you are alive and well. I will then continue our negotiations with the Empire. I believe Lars has the key. He'll listen to us. We should trust him.
Who are you, Vossler, to talk of trust?
The son of Dalmasca.
Our equipment here is limited, so we'll be using the ship's drive to make our assessment. Once we've connected the stone, the reaction should be easily measured.
Methods do not interest me, only results.
Fran? Such heat! The mist, it's burning!
6,800, 6,900, 7,000! This must be Deifacted Nethicite! The count still climbs!
Ah, we found it at last. true day-affected nethicite. The power of the Dynast King in my hands. Blood alone does not an emperor make, Vayne.
What is this? Something's wrong.
What is it? You stand.
Hold her down!
What's wrong with her?
I always knew Fran didn't take well to being tied up. I just never knew how much. How about you?
I like Fran's idea. Let's get out of here.
No farther! Sky Pirates, the future of Dalmasca will not be stolen. Why do this, Bash? This struggle is futile. You must know where it leads.
I do know. All too well.
Oh my god, Vossler, why? Oh, and then like Fran's going berserk, so you can even see here in her little bio, she has the berserk status, so I just had to highlight that there. So she is just going crazy attacking stuff. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to first of all get rid of all these extra knights. But Vossler has basically turned tail and run and like basically worked out a bargain that like Ash can retake the throne, but under Imperial supervision and like oversight. And he's just like, no, this is the one chance we have. And unfortunately we have to fight him to the death now. They're after taking the Dawn Shard. They're now using technology to like assess its power, but it's just going astronomically crazy with the technology. And poor old Fran, who's quite sensitive to the mists, is literally being driven crazy. She's literally being driven over the edge, like going berserk and attacking people wildly. And of course, Baltier has to be the like picture of like calm and serenity. He's just like, well, I guess Fran just doesn't like being tied up. And I'm like, oh, Baltier, have you had this conversation with her before? Oh my. And literally, poor Alvan is like on the brink of death constantly. Penello coming in clutch with the heals, and I'm just, you know, trying to run. But Vossler goes down. We've had to just finish him. It's so sad. But we'll chat after these further cutscenes.
Engine power falling rapidly. Each negative, impossible.
Engine room, this is the bridge. Report.
What are they doing down there?
Happened?
The Nephesite's draining the ship's power.
Disengage it at once.
I want that number 3 unit sealed. Let me infected.
Charge critical in 300. Cascade failure.
Ash, let's go.
All I have done I've ever thought of Dalmasca first.
I know you do. I would ne'er gainsay your loyalty.
Look on what my haste has wrought. Did I act too quick? Or was your return too late? I can serve her no more. You must take up my charge.
This might get a little dicey.
The mist. It manifests now.
Is that what you call this?
beautiful.
We got another achievement.
The dreadnought Leviathan is sunk. The 8th fleet of the Arcadian Imperial Army lost. As word of the events in the yacht sounded throughout the Empire, quit I Bujeba, citing sudden malady. My true motive, to bring the various counter-imperial forces scattered throughout Ivalice together in unified resistance. By this time, Lady Ash had made her return to Rabanastre. She had not, however, made known her presence. Rather, she was content with keeping both her own whereabouts and those of the Don Shard concealed. Had she chosen then to go before her people, my error in announcing her suicide would be known, to the great detriment of my efforts to assemble a resistance. In such circumstance as the Lady Ash then found herself, even were she to proclaim Dalmasca restored, it would serve only to invite the Empire's wrath. Though Arcadia had lost her 8th fleet, she remained, as ever, a military power with which to be reckoned.
So that's been our episode, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.